Our last guest today is Charlene Greenholm, our town planner, and she is going to wade into the marijuana articles for us, and hopefully by the time she's finished, you will have a clearer picture of what these articles will do. So go right ahead, Charlene.
Thank you very much. There are 4 articles related to the retail sale of recreational marijuana. I'm just going to say retail sale from now on because it's much shorter. One caveat I do want to say is this has no impact whatsoever on the existing law that allows an individual who's over 21 years of age to smoke marijuana, to possess marijuana, to grow plants consistent with the existing Mass General Law. So I want to get that right up front. Article 34 is a zoning bylaw which would outright ban the retail sale. A zoning bylaw does require 2/3 vote at town meeting. Article 35 is a general bylaw to outright ban the retail sale. Article 36 is an extension of the existing moratorium that was approved at last year's town meeting. It would go from June 30th to December 31st. And Article 37 is what we're calling a time, place, and manner bylaw, which would make the retail sale allowable by special permit in particular zoning districts with particular criteria. Very quickly, Article 34 and Article 35 are bans on the sale of marijuana. If those pass, there would be an outright ban of the recreational marijuana. When that ban goes into effect depends upon the moratorium. If the moratorium extension is passed, then that ban, it would actually go into effect immediately, but the moratorium would actually be a belt and suspenders in the event that for some reason there was a flaw in one of the articles and the Attorney General either had to question it or deny it. We would have an additional 6 months to make any corrections that needed to happen, and if need be, have a special town meeting. If those articles fail, then retail sale of recreational marijuana would be permitted in town. As it says here, under the current moratorium, that retail sale would be allowable by, as of July 1 of 18. If the moratorium extension passes, then that retail sale would be allowable as of January 1 of 2019. If the 34 and 35, which are the bans, fail, and Article 37 is brought forward, is made a motion, this is the time, place, and manner special use permit bylaw. Again, zoning bylaws take a 2/3 vote of town meeting. If that passes, then that would go into effect under the current moratorium on July 1st of 2018. If the moratorium extension passes, then it would go into effect January 1 of 2019. If everything fails, including the time, place, and manner bylaw, then the retail sale of recreational marijuana would be allowed by right in most of the commercial zoning districts or by special permit in the industrial zone with no restrictions, no local restrictions, and it would go into effect on July 1, 2018. However, if for some reason the moratorium extension does pass, then it would go into effect on January 1st of 2019.
So failure of 34 and 35
would mean that retail recreational
is allowed
would be allowable.
in Harwich.
Would be allowable in Harwich.
Right.
It would then go to, if there want to be local controls,
Right.
then Article 37 would put those local controls
For
in
time,
place
place, and manner.
for time, place, and manner.
Got
One of the key things is the use would not be allowable on a lot that has any other uses on it. It would have to be a standalone building.
So I couldn't move into a commercial
It could not go into a
building?
plaza.
Yeah.
It could not go into a mixed use. So if you have a retail space below and you have an apartment up above, it would not be allowed to go there. It is an absolutely standalone, that's the local bylaw that would be in place.
I'm glad you do this.
It can be very confusing, but bottom line is, if somebody said to me, Charlene, I do not want to see the retail sale of recreational marijuana, how do I vote? And I know we're not supposed to be proponents, and I'm not a proponent, you would want to vote yes on Articles 34 and 35, and as a belt and suspender, you would want to vote yes on Article 36. But if you say to me, you know what, I don't really mind the idea of having this use in our community, but I would like some local control, so how would I vote? You would vote no on Article 34 and 35, and you would vote yes on Article 37. Again, the belt and suspenders is the moratorium extension. When do you want that to occur? Do you want it to occur July, or do you want it to occur in January?
Got it.
If you say to me, I don't care if we have this use at all, how do I vote? Then you'd vote no on everything.
Okay. Good. Helpful.
And if anybody has questions, I am always available.
Wonderful.
Thank you for that, because I'm sure there will be. That concludes our program for the day. We just want to thank everybody, all the department heads and who came to explain their articles. Jamie has taped segments with people who couldn't be here today, John Rendon and Robin Kelly, and they will be shown on Channel 18. She has, let me see if I got this right, on YouTube you have a town meeting section.
Yep, for information.
For information. So if you're a YouTube person, be sure and check that out.
Yep.
And with that, Chris has some dates for us.
A couple, May 1st, with the League of Women Voters moderating, we're going to host a candidates forum for the 3 candidates who are running for the selectman vacancy. That's 6:30 here in the Griffin Room, May 1st. Town meeting is May 7th and I believe 8th. And we go to the polls on the 15th. So,
And if you're not a registered voter,
oh yeah, and if you
By
didn't
now.
register by, if you aren't registered by April 17th, well, you don't get to vote at either. I'll mention also at town meeting, childcare is being provided by Park and Rec and Park. Why do I do that wrong?
Rec and Youth.
Rec and Youth. Yep. So thank you very much to all our guests and
and
Charlie.
thank you to Jamie.
Yes, always. Who's going on vacation next week.